A zombie apocalypse at the beginning. I will blow up the planet directly. Chapter 31. The activities and perception range of Protoss are not limited by the speed of light, nor are they limited by space. They are only limited by the scope of the planetary system, which is very unreasonable. The larger the planetary system in which it is located, the greater the range of perception and activity of the star spirit. As a very special kind of life form in the starry sky of the universe, this is his privilege. The tyrant realized that it was time for him to go out and do some activities. After all, he could be regarded as a boss-level existence. He had to go out and show his face, otherwise he would have no chance. It seems that Wonkai will swallow him up soon. Sir, I'm going out to do some activities. Random. Before the tyrant left the canyon, Chenyi noticed the problem with the creep and asked, "This creep seems unable to cultivate higher-level star beasts." Yes. While flexing his muscles, the tyrant said, "The vitality of this planet is too weak. At most, it can only cultivate level 5 star beasts. If you want to cultivate higher-level star beasts, you have to find a planet with stronger vitality. Only a living planet." Understood. Finished. Boom. The canyon shook violently, and the tyrant charged up and took off, riding the strong wind and flying straight out of the canyon, disappearing in the blink of an eye like a cannonball. Just swallowing level 3 star beast spores, raising it to LV8 is almost the limit. There is no use in swallowing any more. A level 4 star beast spore fell into Chenyi's hands and was thrown towards Wonkai. Prosperous wealth. Woo. Wonkai's sharp little eyes swept over it, and he immediately jumped up and swallowed the level 4 star beast spore, and his body immediately shone with a white light. Upgrade Mission 4 completed. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV10 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV10 Up Arrow. After upgrading 2 levels in a row, Wonkai's accumulated potential from devouring a large number of star beasts was released in one breath, and he was directly upgraded from LV8 to LV10. The shared power also raised Chenyi's star spirit level to LV10. With this increase, Chenyi's power skyrocketed again. If his control was not strong enough, Chenyi would be afraid that he would accidentally blow up the planet. After all, just by setting off waves in the ocean of star power, the energy tide formed would be enough to destroy the planet. The upgrade from LV8 to LV10 is very simple and crude. Chenyi's range of perception has not changed and he is still in this planetary system. But his control over star power has been greatly enhanced. Before, he could control star power to easily destroy the planet, but now he has the ability to easily destroy a star. It's still a bit difficult to rely on brute force alone. After all, stars are equivalent to huge whirlpools in the ocean of star power. They are places where star power is highly concentrated. There is no need to restore calm to this vortex. Chenyi only needs to extract part of the star power from it. Star power is the collective name for the power of the universe. The energy of stars is naturally a type of star power, just like the vitality of planets on living planets. Chenyi can easily control these energies. Once a part of the star's energy is extracted, the energy generated inside it will not be enough to support its huge size, and collapse will occur. This is Chenyi's way of destroying stars, which is efficient and effective. In other words, Chenyi has the ability to easily end a planetary system. As a star spirit, although Chenyi is still a flesh and blood body, the qualities of his body have entered an incredible realm. The strength of its body is the highest in the universe. It is infinitely equivalent to the strength of the strong force acting on each other. Every atom in the body is closely arranged and completely motionless relative to each other. Materials with lower strength are absolutely unable to attack Chenyi. No trace of any injuries will be left. Based on this, other aspects of quality can be imagined. The strongest body will have the strongest power, and as long as he is in the ocean of star power, it is difficult for Chenyi to die. Even if he is injured, the star power will repair his injuries in time. If you want to kill Chenyi, you can only kill him in an instant. In a war of attrition, he can really fight with anyone until the end of the world, until the universe collapses. Chenyi felt this powerful and completely unreasonable force and exclaimed, "This is not a god on earth, it is simply a real god." In a sense, the star spirits are indeed gods, and they have been gods since their birth. There are few such beings in the universe. Zitsa. A blue electric arc flashed in Chen Yi's hand, and then transformed into wind, water, fire and other forms. Being able to control energy means being able to control any element at will, including metal and rock. Mass and energy can be converted into each other. For the universe, matter and energy are actually the same thing, but the difference between microscopic and macroscopic. Under Chen Yi's control, a large amount of the planet's vitality was drawn to support the carpet, quickly producing a large number of level 4 star beast spores. Prosperous wealth, continue. Woo! A piece of level 4 star beast spores erupted from the carpet, and Wonkai continued to devour the level 4 star beast. A large number of equipment, props and abilities exploded, and were taken into Chen Yi's portable space. Integrating countless abilities, Chen Yi evolved into a Protoss life form. Now he no longer needs these ordinary abilities. Unless it's a really special ability. However, facing life forms up to LV10, the gains brought by level 4 star beast spores are already minimal, and the level increases very slowly. Other side. The light of the sword passed by, killing a level 3 star beast in an instant. Lucia was holding a long knife, the blade stained with blood, and wondered, why are there so few star beasts recently? That's a good thing. Jess's voice came from the communicator. After the mission in Jinshan City was terminated, they each returned to their respective areas of responsibility. The two were familiar with each other, so they often chatted. Lucia always had an ominous premonition, and there was a worry in her eyebrows. Of course it is a good thing that there are fewer star beasts, but this inexplicable situation is particularly disturbing. By the way, how is the Flash? He is in solitary confinement. He can't even step out of the base before completing the closed training. This kid almost caused a tragic accident last time. He deserves this result. Speaking of this, Chen Yi's figure flashed through Lucia's mind. If it weren't for him, Weilong would have destroyed Jinshan City. Every time she thought of that encounter where she lost consciousness, Lucia couldn't help but tighten her grip on the handle of the knife, feeling a huge sense of oppression and urgency in her heart. She has to become stronger quickly. Suddenly, the light of the knife was sharp. Lucia turned the blade and slashed it down at a speed several times faster than the speed of sound. Facing the knife, she raised one hand and held the blade firmly. Boom! The remaining power on the blade cut off all the buildings within a few dozen meters, and the tall buildings collapsed with a roar. The person holding the blade was completely unharmed, and he grinned, revealing his sharp fangs. Nice slash. Hear the words. Lucia's pupils shrank suddenly. His thick tail slapped on the ruins, and the tyrant, who was extremely close to a human form, appeared in front of Lucia with an extremely oppressive feeling. Lucia's shock at this time was indescribable. Advanced star beasts can always communicate. This is not something surprising. What shocked her was that the star beast easily caught her attack. Clang! The blade chirped softly. Lucia drew her knife and retreated, extremely vigilant. At that moment, she knew that she was definitely no match for this star beast. There was a huge gap. Beep. At this time, the star beast monitoring department sent an emergency reminder. They found a super high energy signal at Lucia's location, a star beast signal with an energy level of up to 4.8. The tyrant glanced at Lucia's bracelet. She looked relaxed, as if she was just having fun, and asked, "Don't you want to read the message?" Lucia said nothing, and her expression became more solemn. This star beast was too abnormal. It was not as violent as other star beasts, and its rationality was no different from that of humans. Never mind. Realizing that Lucia had no intention of communicating with him, the tyrant was a little disappointed, and a burst of pure hostility suddenly broke out in his body. Let's play with you before the other Starkillers arrive. Boom. The moment the words fell, a burst of strong air pressure was already close at hand. When Lucia reacted, the tyrant's fist had already come into view. After a loud noise, Lucia's figure quickly flew backwards, drawing a huge gully dozens of meters long in the ruins. The power condensed in the fist exploded, destroying all the buildings along the way, and shoveling out an empty area on the ruins. Ahem. Lucia held the long knife tightly, blood flowed from the corner of her mouth, and she felt as if all the bones in her body were broken. Regardless of the injury and pain, she resolutely swung the knife. The power of this star beast was completely unprecedented. Just one blow almost made her lose her fighting ability. Those before were simply unable to compare with it. I might die in battle this time. While muttering to herself, Lucia used all her strength to slash out a huge slash. The tyrant was a little disappointed and defeated the slash with one punch. Too weak. He shook his head and said, "You don't even have the ability to make me happy. What about adding us?" A figure fell from the sky. Jace's whole body was wrapped with blue energy, his veins popped out from his gritted teeth, and he punched the ruins. Boom. In an instant, as if an earthquake had occurred, the entire ruins stirred up strong winds, and the earth trembled. Amidst the billowing smoke and dust, Jace and several other high-level Starkillers arrived one after another. Jace asked Lucia, "How is it? Do you still have fighting ability? I won't hold you back." Lucia spoke concisely and stood up with a knife. Before her body reached its limit, she could still fight for some time even if she risked her life. A ferocious figure slowly emerged from the smoke, and Jace was full of fighting spirit. A 4.8 level star beast is in big trouble now. Level 4.8. The tyrant revealed his figure, glanced at several Starkillers, deliberately struck them with a playful attitude, and asked, "Have you ever experienced despair?" "Jess, what do you want to say?" The tyrant grinned. "Don't you realize that my body shape is different from other star beasts? I'm not afraid to tell you that this is not my full power form yet. Are you interested in seeing my full power form?" Hear the words. The pupils of several Starkillers shrank, and while their scalps were numb, they resolutely took action and stopped talking nonsense to the tyrant. Even if the strength gap was in front of them, they were definitely not the least bit cowardly. Ha ha. The tyrant was also aroused to fight, and laughed and said, "Yes." Boom. Immediately, an extremely fierce battle broke out on the ruins. Under the deliberate delay of the tyrant, more and more Starkillers arrived to join the battle. The Federation is just one word. Destroy this star beast at all costs. 2 hours later, a large number of Starkillers lay scattered on the ruins. At full strength, the tyrant's size soared to 15 meters tall, and its energy level reached as high as 5.2. Faced with this overwhelming force, even with the captain-level Starkiller combat power, he could not compete with the tyrant. Even so, the tyrant still suffered a lot of injuries, but his self-healing ability was too strong and he seemed to be intact. That's all. The dying Lucia, Jace and others are extremely desperate. If they can't match them, they can't match them. The gap cannot be filled by determination and courage. Jace was seriously injured, lying on the ruins with almost no ability to move. He looked up at the sky and said calmly, "It's all over." Lucia leaned against the wall, no longer having the strength to stand up. This battle made the tyrant thoroughly satisfied, and he was extremely satisfied. As the last battle, I have no regrets. There seemed to be something wrong with these words, but Lucia couldn't figure out what was wrong. At this time, the roar of airplanes passed through the air, and a group of high-level Starkillers landed like raindrops. The flash of confinement was released. In an emergency, his highest-level combat power must play a role in this battle even if it is unstable. Flash blood boils. It's finally my turn to show off my skills. The tyrant glanced at them, not taking these Starkillers seriously at all, and laughed angrily. The timing of your appearance is not suitable, and it will not be your home field next. Said. The tyrant locked his warlike gaze on a certain figure, and it turned out to be Chen Yi. He didn't know when he appeared here. As soon as he saw him, Flash's expression froze, and the mighty dragon in his body roared crazily, causing Flash to hide as far as he could. Obviously, Chen Yi left a very serious psychological shadow on him. At the same time, Lucia and Jace both looked surprised. Undoubtedly, among the humans they knew, Chen Yi might be the only one with the fighting power to stand up to the tyrant. If he helps, the tyrant will definitely be eliminated. However, before Lucia and Jace could be happy, the familiar relationship between Tyrant and Chen Yi made all the Starkillers tremble. The situation suddenly became subtle. It was unclear whether Chen Yi was an enemy or a friend. Flash and others did not dare to act rashly. Chen Yiyu leisurely seemed completely defenseless, turning a blind eye to the Starkillers around him, and asked the tyrant, "How is it?" "I'm satisfied." Satisfied. The tyrant responded with a smile, knowing that it was time to sacrifice his life. He directed his hostility towards Chen Yi, launched a decisive attack, and roared wantonly to vent his last moment of pleasure. let me see your strength. Prosperous wealth. Wu. The god of prosperous wealth jumped out of the ruins without a trace, opened his mouth and a cross-shaped dazzling light flashed in an instant, followed by an unparalleled huge impact. Boom. The sky and the earth shook violently, and the violent power destroyed everything. The residual power alone made the Starkiller's livers and gallbladders split, and they were thrown away without any resistance. Wonkai only looks harmless to humans and animals, but in essence it is still a star beast, not to mention a super star beast with a level as high as LV-10. Not to mention killing the tyrant, it is easy to explode the planet. When it devours other star beasts, it is also robbing other star beasts of their abilities to evolve itself. Wonkei's current life level is different from that of Chen Yi as a star spirit. It's almost the same, and the tyrant can never be its opponent. An energy impact created a huge ravine on the ground, and finally penetrated the planet's atmosphere and penetrated deep into the starry sky before slowly dissipating. When everything calmed down, the Starkillers looked at the horrific scene in front of them and felt extremely horrified. In front of this power, they were just ants. Flash stood up from the ruins, his figure was quite embarrassed, his eyes were full of fear, and he had the urge to turn around and run away. This kind of monster is definitely not something they can deal with. Hiss. A heat wave was still rolling on the earth. The tyrant remained standing, but most of his head and body had been evaporated in an instant, and he died immediately. The Starkillers were all horrified when they saw this. This was a super star beast with an energy level of 5.2, but it was instantly killed in just one encounter. Wonkei's short legs started running, and he ran up to the tyrant under the watchful eyes of everyone. He opened his mouth decisively and swallowed him in one gulp. Ouch. Gulu. A 5.2 level super star beast was swallowed like this. The clear swallowing sound made the Starkiller's scalps numb, and then, a white light flashed from Wonkei's body. Upgrade Mission 5 complete. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV-11 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV-11 Up Arrow. A large number of level 4 Star Beast spores could not increase Wonkei's level much, and the benefits it brought were minimal, so it would only reach LV-11 after upgrading. Just when Chen Yikai was about to leave, Lucy Adam thanked him. Sir, thank you for your timely help. A pause in his steps. Chen Yi's figure disappeared immediately. Thank you. Chen Yi's original intention was not to save the Starkillers, but simply to complete the upgrade mission. Now they can still talk to each other. If the Federation knew what he had done to this planet, they would probably be enemies. Having said that, in Chen Yi's opinion, the Starkillers are not qualified to be his enemies, and there is no need for him to take action personally. At this time, the highest level red alert flashed on the big screen of the Star Beast monitoring department. The monitoring personnel raised their heads and remained motionless as if frozen until a moment later. I saw a terrifying value with an energy level of 7.3 displayed on the big screen. The monitors were frightened out of their wits by this value, as if they were in a dream. The value is not wrong. Minister, that's right, it's energy level 7.3. Even the inspector's voice was trembling when he spoke. Before, they could not imagine how powerful the existence of 7.3 energy level could be. Today, they saw it. However, this is just a stroke of prosperity. Prepare a report immediately, and I will go to the Federation in person. Clear. When he came back to his senses, the minister realized that his hands and feet were cold. Without any hesitation, he had to go to the Federation in person to report this fact. The next day, after discussion at the meeting, the Federation reached a unanimous conclusion. Since Chen Yi had previously stated that he was not hostile to humans, they would not provoke Chen Yi. But the future of mankind must be in its own hands. The successive emergence of high-energy star beasts made the Federation realize that the slow growth of the Starkiller's power could no longer adapt to the new environment and era. They are eager to master stronger power, and the Starkillers need to grow faster. In the Federation headquarters building, a man in a black suit took out a tube of potion from his pocket. There was no doubt that this man was a returner. His name is Yale, a new member of the Supernova Legion. It was his operation within the Federation that allowed Flash, also a newcomer to the Legion, to gain the power of Dragon. As a newcomer, Yale had very few props and equipment. Fortunately, he was valued and trained by the Legion, so he got this potion from the Legion. This potion is still an unfinished product, and perfecting it requires the cooperation of the Starkillers in human experiments, and this kind of experiment is very cruel. Yale believes that now is the time to take it out. This unfinished potion is only a second-level prop. Once completed, it may be able to exert a third-level effect. When combined with Starkiller's own power, it is still unknown what kind of reaction will occur. In short, it is worth looking forward to. He ordered his secretary. I need to meet with the chief. Understood, I will make an appointment for you right now. At the same time, Chen Yijung is feeling various sounds in the universe through the ocean of star power. Whether it is electromagnetic waves, gravitational waves or neutrino signals, as long as they are signals that can cause energy fluctuations, he can hear them all under the influence of the sound of all things. Information contained. The planet Chenyi is currently on has lost too much vitality, and because the vitality of this planet is not strong enough, it cannot give birth to more advanced star beasts. This move has only one meaning, and that is to find other civilizations in the universe, and then use their planetary culture carpets to produce more advanced star beasts to complete subsequent upgrade tasks. Half a month later, a piece of information transmitted through gravitational waves was captured by Chenyi. The content is as follows. To all civilizations in the universe, the Northern Cross civilization sends greetings. By listening to the sound of the gravitational wave signal, Chenyi immediately located the location of the Northern Cross civilization, which is located 60 light-years away within the same cantilever. Found it. Chenyi raised his head and looked at a certain area in the starry sky. With a thought, the star power ocean immediately rippled, affecting the entire planetary system. After the star spirit upgraded to LV-11, Chenyi's control strength and ability to control the star power ocean have been greatly improved. Now he can use the entire planetary system as an arc to sail in the universe, relying on the promotion of the star power ocean, can easily accelerate to super light speed, and this process will not cause any discomfort to life on the planet. In other words, Chen Yining could directly carry an entire planetary system to hit people. After locating the Northern Cross civilization, he directly pushed the entire planetary system towards the location of the Northern Cross civilization. The first people to notice the anomaly were astronomical observers. At first they discovered that the stars in the universe seemed to be moving accelerating. Later they discovered that it was the galaxy they were in that was accelerating in a certain direction. This discovery immediately made astronomical observation they were frightened. This abnormal phenomenon is undoubtedly extremely terrifying, but human beings are so powerless. After all, they cannot stop the movement of the galaxy. The Federation just wants to know what is causing the accelerated displacement of their galaxy. The Northern Cross civilization is 60 light-years away. Even if Chenyi's galaxy is traveling at super light speed, it will take 20 years to fully reach it. Unless Chenyi's life level is upgraded again during this period, he becomes a higher-level star spirit and can mobilize stronger power in the star power ocean. Unfortunately, Tyrant is the only level 5 star beast on this planet. The carpet of bacteria cannot breed other level 5 star beasts. Moreover, because Wonkai swallowed too many star beast spores, the planet's vitality has been seriously lost. Now, even level 4 star beast spores have become difficult to produce. The side effects of the loss of vitality will soon appear on the surface. Green plants will gradually wither, natural ecology will gradually collapse, and earthquake disasters will become more and more frequent. The threat of star beasts will gradually decrease, but humans have just begun to face the deterioration of their living environment, and now they still know nothing about it. Chen Yi was a little idle now. He took out a fist-sized meatball from his pocket. The meatball was bright red and beating like a heart. The more advanced the star beast, the higher the explosion rate. Chen Yi has the most say in this. Wonkai swallowed countless star beast spores, and his personal space is now filled with exploded equipment, props and abilities. As the only level 5 star beast on the planet, the tyrant gave Chen Yi several pieces of equipment and props. However, the functions of those pieces of equipment were meaningless to Chen Yi today. Only some special props were useful. It will make him pay attention to the fact that this meatball is a rather special prop. Item: Tyrant's Heart. Type: Props. Explanation: this meatball carries the tyrant's consciousness. As long as a creature swallows it, the tyrant's consciousness can seize its body and resurrect it. This item has not been appraised yet, but it is only at the level of the third level. The strength of the tyrant is above the second level, but it is not yet up to the third level. Chen Yi was wondering when he would resurrect the tyrant. Some things don't need to be done. He could just take action himself and leave it directly to the tyrant. However, this ball of flesh only carries the consciousness of the tyrant. How powerful it is after resurrection depends entirely on how strong the body it occupies is. The planet where Chen Yi was located was called the Water Star, and the galaxy was named the Venus System. The Venus System was heading towards the 5th year of the Northern Cross civilization, and a group of people came to the outside of the canyon where Chen Yi was. Lucia, Jace, Flash, and Luo Changkong, who had just joined Starkiller not long ago, were among this group of people. This time they received a mission from the Federation to find out the truth about the Star Beast. The traces of the Star Beast spores are not absolutely hidden. After so many years, the Federation finally discovered the existence of the Star Beast spores and located the source of the Star Beast spores in the canyon. The stakes are so high that the Federation has assembled a large number of high-level Starkillers for this operation, intending to completely eliminate the Star Beast disaster from its source. There is no problem with the plan, but the problem is that the Federation did not expect that the Starkillers would not be able to enter the depths of the canyon at all, and an invisible energy barrier would isolate them. Lucia slashed at the energy barrier with all her strength, unable to shake it at all. She couldn't help but frown. The barrier is very strong. I'll give it a try. Then Flash's full blow still failed to have any effect on the barrier. Even when all the high-level Starkillers present struck together, the barrier remained intact. Half an hour later, a hydrogen bomb fell from the sky, blooming with an extremely dazzling light the moment it hit the energy barrier. The core temperature reached hundreds of millions, which was enough to destroy all materials on the planet. The atmosphere expanded in the high temperature and then rapidly contracted, and the two impacts were all solid. It really hit the energy barrier. In order to eradicate the disaster of star beasts, the Federation will do whatever it takes. A mere hydrogen bomb is not worth mentioning. If necessary, nuclear bomb launch bases around the world will carry out non-stop nuclear bombings here. When the explosion subsided, the Federation asked, "How is the situation?" Lucia put her hand on the energy barrier and was silent for a moment before replying, "The barrier is still intact. My suggestion is to increase the power and continue bombing." Understood. Please stay away from the target area in time. The second nuclear bombing will arrive in 20 minutes. Learn. When the first hydrogen bomb failed to work, everyone's hearts were already cast in a shadow, and they were just unwilling to try again. After finally finding the source of the star beast, it turned out that he couldn't even get through the door. This fact can be said to be frustrating to the point of almost collapse. There was another round of bombing, but no miracle occurred. Facing the continuous bombing of hydrogen bombs, this barrier was indestructible and could not be shaken at all. Dry. A Starkiller roared in frustration. Lucia stared at the depths of the canyon, and saw that there were constantly star beast spores rushing up into the sky on the air current, easily passing through the barrier and floating in all directions. Trouble. Luo Changkong sighed inwardly. His main mission had reached the final stage. As long as he thoroughly discovered the truth about the Star Beast, he could complete the main mission, but now he was stuck here. This is exactly Chen Yi's purpose. The main mission of the Return to Ruin space must ultimately be to discover the truth that leads to the destruction or ruin of the world. As long as he does not let the returners complete the final main mission, he can prolong the journey in this mission world. Length of stay. Final. The helpless Starkillers had no choice but to return home. Although they failed to solve the problem of the star beast from the source, they finally found this canyon. As long as the Federation intercepts the star beast spores from high altitude in advance and kills them, it can greatly reduce the number of star beast disasters. In this way, the star beast disaster can be effectively suppressed. Before leaving, an earthquake occurred in the nearby area. Earthquakes around the world have become more frequent in recent years. Although everyone is worried, they have gradually gotten used to it. Only. I don't know since when, Jace discovered that he had the ability to listen to the sounds of all things, and he understood the sounds of this planet. This is not just an earthquake. This is the cry of this planet. The Gaia consciousness of the planet has no emotions or emotions at all, but when this kind of information is conveyed to humans, humans will use their own emotions to understand the information, so they will understand it as emotions such as lamentation. The vitality of nature has been seriously lost, the environment is getting worse and worse, natural disasters are becoming more and more frequent, the planet has entered a countdown to destruction, and the future that mankind has to face is desperate. Intuition told Jess that the source of everything was under the canyon, but unfortunately they could not enter. At this moment, the earthquake became more violent. This time, there was also a sense of desperate fear mixed with the screams. Jace couldn't help but be extremely stunned, not understanding what the planet was afraid of. In the 6th year since the Venus system set sail, the Star Beast disaster was minimized due to the Federation's measures to intercept and strangle the Star Beast spores outside the Grand Canyon. On the contrary, the deterioration of the environment became more and more obvious. After realizing this, the Federation immediately monitored and studied the situation of the planet. The results are very alarming. The research results show that as the activity of the continental plates intensifies, earthquakes will become more frequent and more severe in the future. The natural environment will turn large areas into desert. If humans cannot build a sufficient self-protective survival system in these 15 years, human civilization on Shu's planet will perish. It can be called a disaster. A year later, Jace came outside the Grand Canyon again, and his intuition told him that the truth of everything was below the canyon. If this was true, then the wind in the canyon would tell him everything. Starkiller is the only one who can hear the voice of all things and can explore the truth in this way. Call. The strong air flow surged up from the bottom of the canyon. Jace stood outside the energy barrier and silently listened to the information contained in the wind. Soon, the wind brought some strange smells. The voice of all things called that thing a carpet. It is the carpet that continuously breeds star beasts. In addition, there is a person and a star beast below the canyon. People. The existence of the fungus carpet did not surprise Jace, and it was not surprising that there were star beasts under the canyon, but there was actually a person down there. At this time, a figure of a certain person flashed through Jace's mind. The figure's body was covered with a distorted light barrier, and his face could never be seen clearly. It is no exaggeration to say that he is the strongest person on this planet so far. If there is any unmatched mastermind, that person is the first person that Jace thinks of. Guessing is just speculation. Jace will not arbitrarily believe that Chen Yi is the mastermind behind the scenes. Moreover, Chen Yi and Wang Kai's life level is too high and there is no such thing as smell left. Naturally, Jace cannot judge Chen Yi and Wang Kai. Identity. Only. The combination of a person and a star beast. No matter how much he thought about it, Jace felt that the person below must be Chen Yi. He did not forget that Chen Yi raised a star beast. A super star beast with an energy level as high as 7.3. Suddenly. Boom. Another earthquake occurred around the canyon. Jace was accustomed to thinking it was just the whale of the planet, but this time it was not. This was the influence of the man below the canyon correcting the course of the morning star system. Jace heard the truth brought by the planet during the earthquake, and immediately couldn't help but take 2 steps back, his face turned pale. Correcting the course of the morning star system. Are you kidding me? The people below the canyon are the leaders who promote the entire Venus system movement. This truth is extremely horrifying to Jace. He had thought more than once about how powerful humans could be, but he never dared to imagine that someone could move an entire planetary system by himself. Yet it is true. Such people can no longer be called human beings, they are truly gods. In the face of such a powerful force, mere humans and star beasts are not worth mentioning. No wonder no one reacted when the Federation dropped nuclear bombs above the canyon. The other party didn't take this into consideration at all. Just too lazy to pay attention to them. Jace's heart was beating violently. After learning the truth, he couldn't calm down for a long time. He was confused. He didn't know where the man under the canyon was going to steer the Venus system, and he couldn't stop him. That person occupies the carpet that breeds the star beast spores, but they can't even break the barrier. It's a joke to talk about completely eradicating the star beast. When Lucia saw Jace again, he was unkempt, his whole person looked extremely decadent, and his will had completely relaxed. She was particularly shocked. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Jess shook his head and asked, what's the matter? The movement of the Venus system has made the higher-ups very worried. They must deploy new response strategies as soon as possible, and all high-level Starkillers must be present. Forget it. Jess has no interest in investing energy in these things. It is completely meaningless. In the face of the power that is enough to promote the entire planetary system, human efforts are extremely insignificant. They were still alive just because they were lucky. Maybe one day the person down the canyon was in a bad mood and casually destroyed the planet. Jace was immersed in pessimism. It was precisely because he knew too much that he was so negative. Human beings were unable to face the truth behind these disasters, so he never informed the Federation. There is no need to notify me of these meetings in the future. If there are any tasks arranged by the above, please inform me directly. I don't want to worry about anything else. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, it was the 20th year since the Venus system set sail. Under the Grand Canyon, the star power ocean rippled. Chen Yi's figure slowly emerged out of thin air, returning to the real world from the star power ocean. After 20 years of super light travel, the Venus galaxy is finally arriving at the galaxy where the Northern Cross civilization is located. Just look up at the sky and you can see that there is another star with a weaker light not far from the dazzling sun. That is the star of the Northern Cross civilization galaxy. In the final stage of the voyage, Chen Yi had a thought, and the ripples of the star power ocean spread to the entire Venus system. The Venus system gradually slowed down, and then crashed into the Northern Cross civilized galaxy. The two stars were entangled together under the gravitational pull, forming a binary star system with two suns and the same sky. At the same time, driven by the star force, the planets of the two galaxies also completed their merger in a short period of time, and reunited under the interaction of gravity. A stable orbit is formed. Wu Wangkai stared at the two big suns in the sky, very surprised. Chen Yi stretched out habitually, feeling particularly good, and sighed, we are finally here. As he spoke, Chen Yi felt the star power of the Northern Cross and immediately discovered that this living planet had very strong vitality and was very suitable for growing fungus blankets. Looks like I'm lucky. Chen Yi was overjoyed. After carefully confirming that there was no power that could threaten him on the Northern Cross, he immediately disappeared with the entire fungus carpet. Using the star power ocean as a medium, Chen Yi, as a star spirit, instantly stepped onto the Northern Cross and saw a lush and vibrant place. Just choose this. Chen Yi decisively spread the fungus carpet in the valley. The moment the fungus carpet hit the ground, it immediately grew roots and penetrated into the earth continuously, frantically absorbing the vitality of the Northern Cross. In the blink of an eye, the large green vegetation nearby quickly withered, and the lush and vibrant valley soon turned into a bare desert. Outside the valley, a group of black birds fled out, like black clouds looming overhead. When a middle-aged man with a knife on his waist saw this, he immediately felt something strange in the earth, and his expression suddenly became extremely solemn. The planet is losing its vitality. Northern Cross is a planet of human civilization. Because the people of Northern Cross are naturally particularly sensitive to energy, science and technology have developed extremely rapidly. Even without borrowing scientific instruments, the people of the Northern Cross who have been deliberately trained can still achieve extremely high precision in sensing and controlling energy. This is a powerful talent that cannot be matched by the humans of the Water Star. Based on this powerful talent, the Northern Cross civilization is developing science and technology while exploring the human body's control of the energy field. In conjunction with genetic modification and other science and technology, a group of individuals with extremely high combat power have been born. Warriors, the strongest among them can even shoot down spaceships. After more than 200 years of development, the Northern Cross people have successively formed 3 huge space fleets to go to deep space to explore new life planets and expand the boundaries of the Northern Cross civilization. However, the universe is infinite, and even if the Northern Cross civilization has mastered the technology of faster-than-light navigation, it will still inevitably need to spend a lot of time on navigation. For more than 200 years, there has been no news from the 3 space fleets that went to explore the deep space of the universe. The enthusiasm for the Northern Cross's outward exploration has gradually cooled down. On the contrary, their warrior system has become more and more powerful. With the advancement of technology and the big explosion of science and technology, powerful people in Northern Cross have emerged one after another. Here, martial arts is very prosperous. To be precise, it should be called Starry Sky Martial Arts. Obviously, the middle-aged man outside the canyon is a Starry Sky Warrior, or a Starry Sky Warrior. The middle-aged man named Shuofeng was born in the warrior battalion of the Star Fleet. He had excellent combat experience and was strong enough to cut through mountains. After realizing that the life force of the planet was draining, he decisively entered the valley without any hesitation, found the target that was sucking the life force of the planet, and then killed it. No need to show mercy. Vitality is the most important energy of a planet. As a warrior in the warrior camp, Shuofeng will not allow anyone or any creature to do such an act that harms the Northern Cross. Not long after, Shuofeng followed the direction in which the life force of the planet was being absorbed, and soon came to the large blanket of fungi, and in front of the fungus carpet, stood a young man. Clang! The moment their eyes intertwined, Shuofeng instantly drew his sword. The bright blade passed by a cold light, and he swung a huge slash towards the fungus blanket. Shuofeng could tell at a glance that this fungus carpet was absorbing the life force of the planet. As for whether the young man was the culprit, there was no need to ask, just look at his actions. Boom! The violent slash flew towards the fungus carpet, but it collapsed instantly on the way. Shuofeng's eyes were focused, and a flash of extreme killing intent flashed across, and then he tore the air at extremely fast speed. He flashed and appeared in front of Chen Yi and slashed with his sword. Down. Anyone who stopped him from destroying the fungus carpet was the enemy of the planet. Shuofeng made the most accurate judgment in an instant, and struck Chen Yi with the most crisp and fatal blow in the blink of an eye. However, Chen Yi didn't even move. Shuofeng was frozen at this moment, and endless star power emerged, tightly restraining Shuofeng's figure. Shuofeng felt this terrifying star power, his pupils shrank suddenly, and for the first time he felt what real fear was, and he couldn't help but said in horror, "What on earth are you?" Buzz. The star power vibrated. Before Shuofeng could finish his words, his whole body was completely destroyed by the star power, leaving no trace. Chen Yi withdrew his attention and his eyes fell on the germ carpet. Boom! The fungus carpet was frantically absorbing the vitality of the Northern Cross star, opening and shrinking like a breath. Under Chen Yi's control, the entire Northern Cross star's vitality was being extracted. Compared to the Mizu star, the vitality of the Northern Cross star is larger and purer. After absorbing this vitality, the fungus carpet immediately began to produce star beast spores. The vitality required to produce high-level star beast spores is extremely huge, and it is obviously extremely wasteful to consume the planet's vitality on low-level star beasts. Bo. The fungus blanket sprayed out a large number of low-level star beast spores, and then Chen Yi drained the vitality of these star beast spores on the spot and re-injected them into the fungus blanket. Woo! Just as Wangkai was about to start dinner, all the star beast spores were gone. Chen Yi explained, "There is no value in producing low-level star beast spores. It is better to recycle these vitality until high-level star beasts are bred." The birth of high-level star beasts is a matter of probability, which Chen Yi cannot control, but he can control the efficient use of life force without wasting it on low-level star beasts. One day later, the fungus carpet seemed to be full of food and drink. After absorbing enough vitality of the Northern Cross, it finally began to mass-produce level 5 star beast spores. Although it was said to be a batch, it was actually only 5 or 6 at a time. Chen Yi threw the 5-star beast spores at Wangkai, who immediately rushed over and swallowed them all in one gulp. However, after swallowing 5 level 5-star beast spores, Chen Yi could only feel a slight increase in his power, but the panel did not move at all. The Protoss level is still at LV11. Chen Yi realized that his and Wangkai's life levels were too high, and the level 5-star beast spores could no longer bring much improvement to them. What a pity. This is somewhat different from the original plan. If we want to implement the upgrade route of maximizing profits, and just use low-level star beast spores to push the level of Wangkai to the limit and then complete the upgrade task, then the vitality of the Northern Cross alone may not be enough to complete the task. How many upgrade tasks? The more advanced the star beast, the more vitality it requires during production. The vitality of the Northern Cross cannot support such a huge consumption. In this case, Chenyi could only give up the upgrade route of maximizing profits, devote all his resources to cultivate more advanced star beasts, and aim to complete the upgrade task as soon as possible. After all, he is not sure how long he can stay in this mission world, let alone whether he can find the next life planet. Then, Chenyi entered the single-player farming game mode again, clapped his hands, and opened an invisible energy barrier outside the valley, prohibiting anyone from disturbing him. Bo. A level 5 star beast spore was ejected from the fungus carpet, and then Chenyi drained the vitality and re-injected it into the fungus carpet to continue nurturing the star beast. In this way, 10 days later, supported by the pure vitality of the Northern Cross, the fungus carpet finally produced the first level 6 star beast spore, which Wonkai swallowed in one gulp. Upgrade Mission 6 complete. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV-12 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV-12 Up Arrow. In an instant, the ocean of star power surged, and Chenyi's Star Spirit life form once again jumped up to a level, possessing unprecedented power. Boom. The earth shook violently, then returned to calm. Chenyi restrained all the overflowing power. The ocean of star power was surging. Chenyi's perception and control range rapidly expanded, reaching a radius of 2 light years. Star spirits are born with the ability to control star power, and most of the energy in the universe belongs to star power, which means that star spirits have the ability to dominate almost everything within their own range of perception. Through mass energy conversion, Chenyi can easily condense and convert star power into any substance, thus creating most things in the universe. Even planets, stars and even neutron stars can be created, but black holes are the only celestial objects that Chenyi cannot create currently. As the level increases, Chenyi's control range expands rapidly, which means that he can control larger star power and has stronger power. The scale with a radius of 2 light years is very large. Although it cannot break through the heliosphere of the fused galaxy, it is far beyond the farthest planet in the fused galaxy. As long as it is within a radius of 2 light years, Chenyi can use the star power ocean as a medium to instantly reach anywhere within the sensing range. At LV-11, Chenyi was already able to push the entire planetary system to super light speed. In the same way, he himself could easily reach light speed and super light speed. According to theory, as long as an object approaches the speed of light, its mass will be infinite, which means that Chenyi's attack has infinite destructive power. Even if it's just matter the size of his finger, he can easily penetrate a star and destroy an entire planetary system by just accelerating it to the speed of light. This fragile world is thinner than a piece of paper to him. He really has no intention to play house games with those people and only wants to farm. In addition, Main Mission Phase 3 complete. Reward: 2,000 points. Main Mission Phase 4, you have fully proven your strength. In order to pursue the truth, please become a Starkiller next. Task Reward: 1,000 points. In order to efficiently utilize the vitality of the Northern Cross, Chenyi killed many star beast spores, resulting in the completion of the main mission of Stage 3. Fortunately, this Stage 4 mission can continue to be stuck. To be honest, he is quite curious about how long space can keep him stuck in this mission world. He brought the fungus carpet to the Northern Cross. The returnees on the water planet were unable to find out the final truth about the star beasts and were unable to complete their mission. Chenyi didn't believe that space would allow them to stay stuck in this mission world. Bo. The mushroom blanket sprayed out a level 6 star beast spore, which was then strangled by Chenyi, and the vitality was re-injected into the mushroom blanket for further use. Woo. Woo. After swallowing a level 6 star beast spore, Wonkei's personality changed again. It was now like it had eaten poisonous fungi, bouncing around and shaking its head, humming something unknown. While Chenyi was focusing on cultivating high-level star beasts, the Shu Star Civilization and the Northern Cross Star Civilization were in chaos. The most panicked one was the Northern Cross Star Civilization. The Venus galaxy sailed here at super light speed, and did not slow down until the two galaxies began to merge, and was observed by the Northern Cross Civilization. The observers of the Northern Cross Civilization were frightened out of their wits at the time. They could still accept it if a fleet sailed at the speed of light. What the hell is it like to have an entire planetary system hit your face at super light speed? Also, what is the energy and power that drives an entire planetary system to travel at super light speed? The universe is more magical than you can imagine. Facing a civilization that can directly carry the entire planetary system, the Northern Cross civilization is extremely desperate. The next step is to be ruled and colonized. However, Shuzixing has not taken action yet, because the Shuijexing civilization is still far from the level of interstellar navigation, and they have been struggling to land people on the moon. At the same time, the degree of despair of the Shuz Star civilization should be almost the same as that of the Northern Cross civilization. Only Jace is completely ruined. How can this broken world be like that? Luo Chengkong looked up at the two suns in the sky in disbelief. He could faintly see several huge planets suspended in the sky. He was so shocked that he could not express it in words. What on earth is going on? Oh shit. At the Federation's high-level meeting, Flash cursed secretly in his heart. Looking at the galaxy images captured by the satellite, a drop of cold sweat flowed from his forehead. The Northern Cross, which is about 50 million kilometers away from the water star, is obviously surrounded by a large number of satellites, space stations, and even airports. The star beasts haven't been dealt with yet, why don't we fight aliens next? Is the First Order mission world so dangerous? Everyone. The chief said with an extremely serious look. As you can see, the Venus system has finally stopped, but we will face a more severe situation next. As the person behind the scenes who personally created this situation, Chenyi didn't care at all. The collision of the civilizations of the two planets was just a small scene for him. Doesn't matter. In the blink of an eye, 2 years flew by. After 2 years of gestation, the mushroom carpet finally produced the first level 7 star beast spore, and Chenyi threw it to the sleepy Wang Kai. Prosperous wealth. Woo. Wang Kai suddenly woke up, jumped up and swallowed the level 7 star beast spore in one gulp. The moment the star beast spores turned into power and poured into Chenyi's body, the mission was completed. Upgrade Mission 7 complete. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV-13 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV-13 Up Arrow. Suddenly, the star power surged. The improvement of life level caused Chenyi's control range to expand again, from the original radius of 2 light years to a radius of 10 light years. Even though the sensing radius only increased by 4 times, in fact, the total amount of star power that Chenyi could control increased to 125 times. Chenyi felt the power of this force, and his eyes fell on the Northern Cross star at his feet. The remaining vitality was still sufficient, and the birth of a higher level star beast was only a matter of time. A ball of light suddenly appeared. Get props. Super active cells. Super active cells. The life using it will be able to obtain unparalleled self-healing ability. Even if there is only a piece of flesh and blood left, it can be reborn. The props exploded by the level 7 star beast were barely of any value, but unfortunately they were still worthless to Chenyi, and his own self-healing ability was even more outrageous. Suddenly, Chenyi looked solemn and looked up into the deep space of the universe. An extremely powerful force broke into his sensing range and was approaching at an alarming speed. What's going on? The powerful force contained pure desire for destruction. It seemed that he was aware of Chenyi's prying eyes, and the other party directly stated his intention to come, and his hostility became even more intense. Found you. Hear the words. Chenyi was even more confused. Before Chenyi could figure out the situation, that force appeared in front of him instantly along the sea of star power, and punched Chenyi directly in the face. It's obvious. The other party also has the ability of a star spirit. Boom. Teleportation and super light speed achieved through the star power ocean are essentially a shortcut. The real speed of movement of objects in the universe cannot exceed the speed of light, but can only be infinitely close to the speed of light. The speed of this punch is infinitely close to the speed of light, so it has infinite power. The terrifying power generated directly penetrates the atmosphere of the Northern Cross, and throws a large amount of matter into the universe. Star Spirit. No. Chenyi denied his guess. Although the newcomer could use star power, he did not have the innate talent and instinct like the Star Spirit. Instead, it is being controlled rigidly like a tool. This alone is enough to prove that the visitor is definitely not a star spirit. Chen Yi remained calm and knew immediately after feeling the power of the incoming man. In terms of strength, he had an overwhelming advantage. Buzz. The star power vibrated, and a humanoid life form with a tail and horns stepped on the starry sky like a flat ground, surrounded by debris thrown by the Northern Cross, and filled with a violent and ferocious aura of destruction. Chen Yi used his spiritual power to break through the language barrier and directly convey his meaning. This was a little trick he learned in the development manual. Aren't you going to tell me the reason why you are my enemy? Unnecessary. The humanoid life form made no secret of its murderous intention. In an instant, it blasted in front of Chen Yi at the speed of light, using all its strength as if it wanted to shatter the starry sky. This universe no longer needs the star spirits. Boom. A punch at the speed of light pierced the starry sky, and the star power in the universe immediately stirred and boiled, surging forward to contain the attacks of humanoid life forms. As if trapped in a swamp, the speed of the humanoid life form quickly dropped. When it arrived in front of Chen Yi, it was already as slow as a turtle, and all the star power it controlled was deprived by Chen Yi. It seems that this universe or this person once had something happen to the Protoss, which caused it to harbor great hostility towards the Protoss. Chen Yikai had just become a Protoss a few years ago when he came to kill him from the deep space of the universe. Since he was an enemy, there was no need to hold back. The humanoid life form was tightly bound by the star power and could not move, and its face suddenly became very ugly, has it grown to this point not long after it was born. Logically speaking, the Protoss has had extremely high combat power since its birth, but it is definitely not as high as this. They made a mistake. The Protoss has grown much faster than they imagined. All the star power within a radius of 10 light-years was mobilized. Chen Yi just looked at it, and the boundless star power crushed the humanoid life form like an ant without any resistance. A planet was penetrated by the humanoid life form flying upside down, and instantly exploded into fragments of dust in the universe. With just one blow, the humanoid life form's body was covered with shocking cracks. It is very foolish to give the enemy a chance to breathe. Even if you have the upper hand, you should never leave your enemy alone in battle. Although Chen Yi still didn't understand something, he didn't expect his enemy to be kind enough to answer all his questions. That would be too naive. Therefore, he goes all out when he takes action, using absolute power to destroy the opponent as quickly as possible. His doubts may not be answered, but the enemy must die immediately. Invincible. The chance of winning is zero. The humanoid life form's blood surged wildly, scattering in the cosmic space. It made a decisive decision and used its last strength to gather all the energy that could be gathered to burst out. Star Spirit. The humanoid life form roared. However, before he could gather his strength to make the final blow, a fist struck with extreme power and extreme speed. The devastating power was comparable to the terrifying power of a neutron star striking at the speed of light. The starry sky in the universe shook violently. The star power within a radius of 10 light-years was depleted in an instant. It was drained out by Chen Yi with a blow, and then refilled to full. Boom. The ocean of star power stirred up turbulent waves, and the ultimate power turned into a brilliant brilliance that filled the starry sky and spread out the moment it exploded. The surging star power explodes in the form of gamma-ray bursts and photon impacts, destroying all matter on the planet along the way. When everything returned to calm, a large amount of dust and planetary debris were seen floating in the galaxy. Several planets were burned red by gamma-ray bursts and photon impacts, and the entire Earth turned into flowing magma. The remains of the humanoid life form floated in the starry sky, completely devoid of life. This battle from start to end can basically be described in the blink of an eye. The Shu's star civilization and the Northern Cross star civilization were completely unable to react, so they walked around in front of the gate of hell without warning. Prosperous wealth. Wu Wangkai was at his command, flying in the starry sky like a vicious dog pouncing on food, opening his mouth wide and decisively swallowing the remains of the humanoid life form. There is no doubt that the humanoid life form is a starry sky powerhouse whose strength has reached the 4th level. This is also the strongest person Chen Yi has ever fought against. According to the evaluation of Guishu space, possessing the power of exploding stars is the 4th level. However, the gap between the 4th levels is also very huge. Some fourth levels can only explode stars, while some fourth levels can instantly destroy everything within several light years. Chen Yi is still at the fourth level. If he wants to reach the fifth level, he must have the power to destroy the galaxy to be qualified. Strengthening success. Star Beast LV 13.2 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV 13.2 Up Arrow. A ball of light appeared in front of Chen Yi, and the humanoid life form revealed a prop to Chen Yi. Although it was not identified, it was estimated to be a fourth-level prop. Get props. Cosmic Astrolabe. Cosmic Astrolabe. A precious treasure that collects countless abilities and lineages in the universe. Using it will randomly obtain an ability or lineage in the universe. Nice one. Chen Yi's eyes lit up. There was no doubt about the value of this prop. There was nothing to hesitate about. He used it on the spot. There was a flash of light. The cosmic astrolabe then turned into a stream of light and sank into Chen Yi's body, and the abilities he obtained immediately turned into Chen Yi's instincts, which he could easily use. Props used. Cosmic astrolabe. Ability to master. Planck membrane life form. Planck membrane life form. A cosmic life form that can freely travel through the Planck membrane, and any obstruction in the three-dimensional space is useless to it. Note: this ability cannot be upgraded. Won the jackpot. Chen Yi didn't know if this ability was rare in the universe, but for him, it was extremely powerful. If the universe is regarded as a membrane, then the Planck membrane is another universe. Planck membrane life forms are born with the ability to travel back and forth between two universes, which is extremely powerful. To put it more simply, the Planck membrane can be regarded as a different dimensional space. After Chen Yi becomes a Planck brine living body, he can jump into this different dimensional space anytime and anywhere, and then move in the different dimensional space. Jump back into the space of this universe. No three-dimensional space barrier can stop this movement. In addition, Chen Yi's body has been further strengthened. The Planck membrane life form is completely composed of unknown substances. Its body is strong enough to withstand the pull of a black hole without being damaged. Its defense power is unlimited. Its only weakness is that it requires a huge amount of energy. Once the energy is exhausted, the body will still be injured by attacks of the same strength. But Chen Yi does not have this weakness. The talent of the star spirit just makes up for the shortcomings of Planck's life form. Unless the star power is exhausted, the energy of the star spirit is endless. It's better to come by luck than by chance. Chen Yi was a little surprised. He sailed the 10,000-year ship carefully, and he was unable to get more information from the humanoid lifeforms, but he was cautious and he could probably make some guesses. This universe no longer needs Protoss. These are the original words of the humanoid life form, and the meaning is that this universe once had an extremely fierce battle with the Protoss, and the Protoss was defeated. The hostility Chen Yi will face may not only come from some cosmic people, but from all civilizations and all non-celestial beings in the entire universe. The dangers are self-evident. If you think about it for a moment, humanoid life forms appear to kill the new star spirits. What will happen if the cosmic forces behind the scenes discover the fact that humanoid life forms are dead? They will definitely use any means to kill the new star spirits as soon as possible, and will never let them continue to grow. Therefore, Chen Yi's current situation is quite dangerous, but he is not without countermeasures. As long as he completes the main mission, he can return to the Guishu space. But that would undoubtedly waste the remaining upgrade tasks. However, becoming a Planck membrane life form gave Chen Yi another solution. The healthy operation of the planet requires the maintenance of an entire planetary system, so as to ensure the stability of the planet's vitality, so Chen Yi plans to pull the entire fused galaxy into the Planck membrane. Chen Yi raised his head and glanced at the deep space of the universe. There should still be time. Then, teleport back to the Northern Cross. The Northern Cross is currently Chen Yi's important source of planetary vitality, and it is impossible to allow it to be destroyed. The gamma-ray bursts and photon impacts that erupted in the battle just now avoided the Northern Cross under Chen Yi's deliberate control. The water star is only tens of millions of kilometers away from the Northern Cross. The orbits of the two planets are very close, and they just happen to be evaded by the light of the Northern Cross. A large hole was punched into the atmosphere of the Northern Cross by humanoid life forms, and even a small piece of the continental plate was cut off. The impact was devastating to the planet. But it didn't take long for Chen Yi to return to the Northern Cross. With a thought, he repaired the damage to the Northern Cross. After confirming that the fungus carpet was safe and sound in the aftermath, he reached out and pulled it. Buzz. A twisted space gap suddenly opened in the starry sky of the universe, and like a giant beast in the starry sky, it opened its bloody mouth and swallowed the entire galaxy in an instant. The universe is deep and dark, but there is nothingness inside the Planck membrane. There are no stars, no matter, just nothingness. The fused galaxy revolves alone in nothingness. After the dark night, the water star and the Northern Cross can no longer be seen in the sky full of stars. Just an hour after Chen Yi led the fused galaxy into the Planck membrane and disappeared without a trace, an invisible blow followed and hit the black hole in the center of the galaxy. Then, the center of the galaxy erupted with an extremely shining light, and the entire ocean of star power boiled instantly, evaporating and annihilating in an instant just like real sea water, triggering a chain reaction that affected all celestial bodies within a scale of 100,000 light-years. The star disintegrated in an instant, and the resulting matter was annihilated. The entire ocean of star power connected together and turned into a huge bomb. It's like a piece of gunpowder spilled on the ground. It only takes a spark to ignite the entire gunpowder. It's a scene comparable to the Big Bang. The extreme brilliance erupted by the Milky Way will become a ray of light in other galaxies in countless years and turn into a starlight in the night sky of a certain planet. After the ultimate shine, the Milky Way ceases to exist. The battle on the speed of light scale, from the beginning to the end, and then being pulled into the Planck membrane, the Water Star Civilization and the Northern Cross Star Civilization only realized it later. The gamma-ray burst and photon impact did not cause any impact on the two planets, but the brilliant light curtain that exploded in the starry sky was so conspicuous that there was no reason why it could not be observed. Almost at the last moment before entering the Planck membrane, the remaining battle scenes in the starry sky arrived at the speed of light and were successively captured by the satellites of the two planets. The next day, Mizzou's Star Federation headquarters meeting. A scholar was giving a report on the gamma-ray bursts and photon impacts that erupted in the universe. The report ended with this sentence. According to our calculations, the energy erupted by this gamma-ray burst and photon impact is equivalent to the combined energy of 500 suns. If we face this energy directly, our planet will turn into a Death Star in an instant. At the meeting, the top leaders of the Federation and a group of senior Starkillers remained silent. Facing the vast energy of the universe, they were as small as ants. Everyone, what follows is a picture captured by our satellite. Although this is incredible, we have to accept this fact. Said. A picture captured by a certain satellite appeared on the big screen. The brilliant photon impact spattered and spread across the starry sky. The white picture was specially processed to reveal a black spot. The picture was quickly zoomed in, and after high-power magnification, everyone gradually saw it clearly. The Starkiller's pupils shrank, and some people couldn't help but stood up suddenly. Chief, this is a person. The tone was full of disbelief. Yes. The chief's expression was extremely solemn. This is the only image captured by the satellite. The research results show that the center of this gamma-ray burst and photon impact perfectly coincides with the location of this person. I think everyone knows what this means. Quote. This means that this gamma-ray burst and photon impact with astonishing energy was a terrifying phenomenon caused entirely by one person. The fact is beyond imagination and difficult to understand. Can one person emit energy comparable to 500 stars combined? This is too ridiculous. The Starkillers know that the universe is very large and that there are indeed other civilizations in the stars, but it is absolutely difficult to imagine that the power of an individual can be so powerful. It's incredible just thinking about it. Lucia and Flash are both high-level Starkillers, so they are naturally qualified to participate in such a meeting. They looked at the figure on the screen with gradually astonished expressions. This figure looks familiar. Is it him? When the figure on the satellite image gradually overlapped with someone in her memory, Lucia's worldview was completely refreshed again. In addition, the negotiations with the Northern Cross civilization were affected by this incident. At the request of the Northern Cross, the negotiations directly entered the next stage. The situation of Northern Cross Star is not much better than that of Mizzou's Star. The aftermath of this incident brought great panic to Northern Cross star, but in addition, they faced more serious problems. The loss of the planet's vitality caused the rapid deterioration of the environment. After contact with the water planet, they gave up the idea of colonization. That doesn't make any sense. The environment on Shu's star is even worse than theirs. Leader, the life force of the planet is still accelerating. If this situation cannot be prevented, the water star will be the future of the Northern Cross. Is the direction of the planet's life force lost still there? Yes, right in that valley. Where's the barrier? Still, the people of the Northern Cross are extremely sensitive to energy. How could they not notice the loss of the planet's vitality for so many years? It's not that they can't notice it, but they can't stop it. They couldn't break through the energy barrier of the valley at all. They could only watch the planet's vitality continue to drain but were unable to do anything. Well, the leader of the Northern Cross looked up at the gray sky. It was clearly cloudless, but he could no longer see any starlight, and he couldn't help but feel depressed. The struggle of civilization is always troubled by disasters. Looking at the scale of the universe, they are really too small and weak, but it is precisely because of this that civilization can be great. In fact, the energy barrier in the valley was briefly broken by humanoid life forms, but was quickly restored to its original state by Chen Yi. The Northern Cross civilization failed to observe this brief moment. But even if you notice it, there is no point. 3 years after entering the plank membrane, the bacterial carpet finally gave birth to a level 8 star beast spore. After Wangkai swallowed it, Chen Yi immediately completed the 8th upgrade mission. Upgrade Mission 8 completed. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV-14 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV-14 Up Arrow. The reward for the upgrade mission will only increase the level by an integer. After experiencing it so many times, Chen Yi already knows it quite well. Unfortunately, the humanoid life form cannot allow Wangkai to accumulate more potential. If the potential is enough, Wangkai will release his potential in the process of upgrading. Maybe it can be directly upgraded to LV-15. It's just that as the level gets higher and higher, it is almost impossible to upgrade 2 levels in a row. Chen Yi has only seen this situation when the level was not high. This year, Shu's star and the Northern Cross star civilization completely reached strategic cooperation, and the development direction of the civilization completely shifted to planet transformation technology. Only by developing sufficiently mature planet transformation technology can they transform the planet and obtain an environment more suitable for human habitation. The returnees on Shu's planet were stuck in the final stage of the main mission. The energy barrier on the Grand Canyon disappeared, but the fungus carpet below also disappeared. Therefore, they have not been able to discover the origin and truth of the star beast, and have been unable to complete the task. A bunch of people are like headless chickens and don't know what to do. Chen Yi was indifferent to everything and just concentrated on cultivating high-level star beasts. In his spare time, he wandered around the Northern Cross to cheer up his mood. In the blink of an eye, 10 years have passed since entering the plank membrane. The carpet absorbed almost half of the vitality of the Northern Cross, and finally managed to breed a level 9 star beast spore, but this was already the limit. The vitality of the Northern Cross is no longer enough to breed higher level star beasts, but Chen Yi is satisfied that it can breed 9th level star beast spores. Prosperous wealth. Woo! Wangkai swallowed the spores in one gulp. Upgrade Task 9 complete. Star Beast Options Upgrade. Star Beast LV-15 Up Arrow. Star Spirit LV-15 Up Arrow. LV-15 Protoss Life Form. After rising 2 levels, Chen Yi's control range of star power now extends to a radius of approximately 1,000 light-years, which is a very exaggerated distance. If the Milky Way still exists, Chen Yi can search for all life planets within a radius of 1,000 light-years with just one thought. Unfortunately, the Milky Way is gone. Chen Yi could also detect what was happening in the Milky Way inside the plank membrane. He was sure that his life would be in danger every minute if he dared to show up. In order to destroy a newly born star spirit, he would not hesitate to destroy a galaxy with a diameter of 100,000 light-years. How much hatred does this universe have against the star spirits? Chen Yi sighed. So, next, it's time to complete the main quest. This quest world is no longer worth staying in. Mizu's star, Federation headquarters. Call. The chief had just finished a meeting and returned to the office very exhausted. He hadn't even taken a breath yet. As soon as he opened the door, he saw a young man. Chen Yi smiled politely. Sir, I have something I want to talk to you about. Who are you? The chief was stunned. On that day, Chen Yi received special approval from the Federation and became a Starkiller directly without all assessment procedures. The moment the special approval was issued, Chen Yi directly completed the main mission. Main mission Phase 4 complete. Reward. 1000 points. Main mission Phase 5. This is the final phase of the mission. Please be sure to explore the origin and truth of the birth of the Star Beast. Task Reward. 3000 points. Main mission Phase 5 complete. Reward. 3000 points. Main mission complete. Whether to submit the task. Yes. Since Chen Yi found the fungus carpet early, he directly completed the main mission of the 5th stage. After entering the task submission stage, he immediately chose yes. Having experienced the previous mission world, Chen Yi was already familiar with this process. Sizzling. Immediately, Chen Yi's figure flashed and disappeared. Main mission submitted successfully. Upgrade mission 10 failed. Settlement completed. Point balance, 7300. On the square in the Guishu space, the returnees of the same batch as Chen Yi successfully returned, including Xing Jie and Zhou Tong with short blue hair. After the second mission world, the newcomers gradually became more and more mature, and each of them also changed their skills and had complete equipment and props. Zhou Tong breathed a sigh of relief. I finally came back alive. Brother Xing searched around and quickly found those living treasures with out-of-character personalities. Fortunately, they all came back alive. Haha, Brother Xing, we are back alive. Come on, Brother Xing, let's treat you to a drink. Chen Yi was not in the square when he entered the mission world, so after returning to the space, he was still at the same place as before, near the Xiaoguo boutique in the business district. Wu. As Chen Yi's pet, Wang Kai was also brought back to the Guishu space. At this time, he was curiously looking at the situation in the space and running around Chen Yi, very excited. Haha, it's done. You're lucky, buddy. In front of the Xiaoguo boutique, there was still a large group of people making noisy noises, not knowing what they were doing, and everyone was very excited. It looks like a lottery. Wu. Wang Kai was attracted by the movement over there, and curiously squeezed in to join in the fun. It didn't run back until Chen Yi called it. Let's go get the equipment in hand appraised first. Wu. Wang Kai quickly followed. Chen Yi's biggest achievement in the world of star beasts was to become a star spirit life form. He also upgraded this ability to LV-15, and his combat effectiveness soared. He even picked up the ability of a plank membrane life form by the way, and gained a more powerful life-saving ability, and gained the ability to travel through the plank membrane. Combining the two, Chen Yi's combat power and life level have risen to a higher level again. Even among the 4th level returnees, he can be regarded as an extremely powerful minority. Entering the enhancement cabin, Chen Yi first looked at the enhancement costs of his two abilities. With just one glance, he gave up the idea of strengthening these two abilities. Name: Chen Yi. Level: 1st level. Points: 7,300. Ability: Protoss LV-15, Plank Membrane Life Form. Ability: Star Spirit. Level: LV-15. Explanation: the darling of the universe, the master of the stars, is born with the instinct to control star power, and is the concrete manifestation of the energy of the universe. Enhancement cost: 500,000 points. Time. Ability: Plank Membrane Life Form. Level: None. Explanation: a cosmic life form that can freely travel through the plank membrane, and any obstruction in the three-dimensional space is useless to it. Cannot be strengthened. There are only 2 entries left in the ability column, but there is no doubt that the intensity of both abilities is explosive. The cost of 500,000 points for one enhancement makes Chen Yi powerless. Let's look at Prosperous Wealth. Star Beast. Prosperous Wealth. Type: Pet. Level: Level 4. Level: LV-15. Explanation: this is a special star beast that can swallow alien beasts and evolve infinitely, and its ruler can share all the power it possesses. Enhancing cost: 500,000 points. Time. As expected, the cost is the same as the strengthening of the star spirit's ability, except that Wonkai is not a returnee, and is directly classified into the 4th level by space. Wonkai rarely participates in battles and has always been a foodie in the world of star beasts, but his essence is still a star beast, and Tyrant is the best example. Its combat effectiveness is not weak at all. In fact, Wonkai is Chenyi's biggest gain in the star beast world. Without Wonkai's power sharing, Chenyi would not have grown so fast. In addition, Chenyi finally made up for the regrets of the zombie world in the star beast world, and came back with an entire portable space of abilities and equipment. In the star beast world, Chenyi killed too many star beast spores and exploded countless equipment and props. Unfortunately, they were all of little use value to him. His body is the strongest armor and weapon. Wherever he needs these 2nd and 3rd level equipment, he plans to sell them all and buy higher level equipment and props. Directly stuff all the equipment and props in the portable space into the storage opening of the enhanced cabin, and collect them all as if it were a bottomless pit. Soon. Identification completed. There are 154,938 pieces in total, 80% of which are equipment and 20% are props, and most of them are 1st and 2nd level, with only 517 3rd level items. Ability does not need to be identified. Counting the 5,283 abilities in the portable space, the total amount of loot is as high as 160,000, which is astonishing. This is after Chenyi threw away most of the worthless garbage. The remaining ones are not said to be rare, but they are definitely high-quality products. After putting away all the items, he turned around and came to the Xiaoguo boutique shop. Welcome. In front of the counter, a girl with a ponytail showed a sweet smile. Lin Xiaoguo immediately recognized Chen Yi, who had patronized her business before. Handsome, do you need anything? Selling equipment, props and abilities, you give me a price. Okay. Lin Xiaoguo didn't know the weight of Chen Yi's words yet, so she responded sweetly, until Chen Yi took out the 160,000 items in his carry-on space, and she was immediately frightened. How much? How much? 160,000 pieces. Chen Yi's tone was calm, but Lin Xiaoguo was extremely shocked. While counting and pricing, he couldn't help but say, you must have looted the warehouse of a certain legion, right? To be honest, this is the first time that Lin Xiaoguo has seen such a rich lone wolf in all these years. She has reason to suspect that Chen Yi has the support of a certain legion. Otherwise, how could ordinary people come up with so many equipment and props? Mission World, the monsters in it are not big cabbage, they can explode equipment casually. What he said was true, but he couldn't resist the fact that Chen Yi really treated the star beasts like cabbage and harvested them. In fact, he had been farming in the star beast world for decades. After half a day, Lin Xiaoguo finally calculated the price. Just looking at the string of zeros in front of her made her scalp numb, and then her eyes flashed with gold. If she can take this order, she will make a lot of money. Lin Xiaoguo's smile became even sweeter, and she even said to Chen Yi with a flattering tone, handsome boy, do you think this price is acceptable? I can give a price of 1.29 billion for these 160,000 items. Can. Chen Yi doesn't care about the fractions. He has some understanding of the market price. This number should be about the same, so there is no need to worry too much. That is. Lin Xiaoguo said with some embarrassment, can you just give me some time? I don't have so much cash on hand, please give me some time to scrape it together. It will be done soon, right away. ASAP. Okay. Chen Yi is usually very talkative and doesn't pay too much attention to trivial matters. Soon, half an hour passed and Lin Xiaoguo barely scraped together enough money. The total is 1.2 billion, still 90 million short. So be it. Chen Yi looked around in the Xiaoguo boutique and picked up the store's treasure, a portable space big enough to hold the Milky Way. I want this. Make a deal. Lin Xiaoguo agreed immediately and completed the transaction happily. Chen Yi crushed the crystal, and a stream of light disappeared into his body. The original portable space was replaced, flew out of Chen Yi's body, and turned into a crystal again. Get props. Portable Space Galaxy. Item. Portable Space Galaxy. Type. Props. Level. Level 5. Explanation. A portable space big enough to hold the Milky Way. Life and living things can be placed inside. If conditions permit, you can even create your own small world in it. Looking at the 5th level, this prop is considered to be top-notch, worth 90 million, which is not a loss at all. Chen Yi originally planned to change to a larger space, but now he just stopped by. The original portable space was resold to Lin Xiaoguo. Lin Xiaoguo handed a transparent card to Chen Yi. The numbers on the card were clearly visible. After erasing the fractions, the figure was 1.2 billion. This is the payment, please keep it. Chen Yi took the card and looked at it, and found that it had the words, Bearer Asset Card, written on it, as well as the logo of United Bank. Lin Xiaoguo said, United Bank is a large bank jointly founded by several top core in the space. You can spend the money in the card anywhere in the space, but this is an anonymous card. You have to be careful not to lose it. Can't get it back. Thanks. The financial system established by the returners has been in use for countless years. The top legion is the best reputation and guarantee, so there is basically no need to worry. It's a pity that space points cannot be traded, otherwise Chen Yi can use the money to upgrade his abilities like crazy. After all, 1.2 billion is undoubtedly a huge sum of money. Boss, go slow. Lin Xiaoguo sent the god of wealth away with a smile as bright as a flower. After selling the equipment, Chen Yi only has a few pieces left in his hand. One of them is the Gaia chapter, and the other ones are the Tyrant's Heart and super active cells obtained in the Star Beast world. He also sold the barrier windbreaker he was wearing. These third-level gadgets were no longer of use. Chen Yi planned to go elsewhere to find some good stuff. Money is worthless if it is not spent. Chen Yi knows that his upgrade speed is too fast, and it is a waste to invest money in equipment. He thought for a while, I wonder if there are any props to improve the ability level. With this idea in mind, Chen Yi walked around the business district. He looked at everything from shopping malls to street stalls to auction houses, and he really found a lot of good things. There are people coming and going from countless mission worlds all the time in the Guishu space, and a large amount of equipment and props are constantly flowing every day. As long as you have money, everything is not a problem. There are no props to improve the ability level yet, but what's even more amazing is that Chen Yi actually found an ability that can directly kill enemies across levels. In the Diamond Mall, when Chen Yi took out the asset card, the store manager was almost blinded by the string of zeros on the card, and he immediately became extremely enthusiastic. Dear guest, please wait a moment. How about this ability? Say it. The enthusiastic store manager took out a gem. Ability. Critical breakthrough. Level. None. Explanation. The time limit is 1 minute, overdraw the power for the next 30 days, and briefly break through the threshold to jump to a higher level. Unfortunately, it can only break through to the 6th level, otherwise its value will be much more than that. Price. 1 billion. The store manager worked hard to promote it. This is a rare ability that can break through to a higher level. As a means of life saving, it is definitely the best of the best. It will definitely be the highlight of the finale at the auction. Really. This is an excellent ability. Chen Yi's current combat effectiveness is at the 4th level. If he uses this ability, he will be able to break through to the 5th level and exert a galaxy-level combat effectiveness. And as Chen Yi's combat power reaches the 5th level, this ability can exert even greater value. This alone is worth 1 billion. Although the time limit is only 1 minute, it is enough. As an explosive life-saving ability, there is no point in fighting for 10 minutes if the battle cannot be solved in 1 minute. I want this. Okay. The store manager was ecstatic when he heard this. On the spot when the money and goods were cleared, Chen Yi mastered this ability, and the gem turned into a stream of light and sank into his body. Mastery of ability. Critical breakthrough. As an ability that can break through classes and obtain extraordinary combat power, it is normal that it cannot be upgraded. Otherwise, the price of this ability will be higher, and Chen Yi cannot afford it. Thank you for your patronage. Chen Yi was not in a hurry to return to Blue Star. Instead, he wandered around the space to relax. He had 200 million left on hand and took a look at what he could buy. Woo! When passing by the arena, Wang Kai stopped and watched the fierce battle on the big screen in trance. The wave candy in his mouth fell to the ground unknowingly. Chen Yi turned around. Want to try? Ah. Then give it a try. The interior of the arena is quite large, with the overall structure of a coliseum, with the arena in the center and terraced auditoriums surrounding it. Certainly. For the sake of fairness, the returnees of each class have their own playing field, and they will only be matched with opponents of their respective class strength, which is very reasonable. When entering the arena, Chen Yi was automatically assigned to the area for first-level returnees. When he entered the auditorium, a burst of noise filled his ears. Kick him to death. Come on. Chen Yi shook his head, and after adapting to the noisy environment, he opened the interface and started matching competitive opponents. Unlike other places in the business district, the arena is under space management. Soon, Chen Yi found his opponent. Matching successful. Start competition. Moment. Chen Yi appeared in the middle of a certain area. The surrounding auditorium was empty. There were only a few people waving flags and cheering nearby. They seemed to be acquaintances of Chen Yi's opponent. Brother Xing, come on. The person who appeared in front of Chen Yi was a blue-haired young man. Those living treasures called him Brother Xing. In fact, his name in Guishu space was Xing. Xing Ke was wearing a slightly sci-fi combat uniform, with a long knife on his waist that could shoot out electromagnetic bullets. His style was extremely distinctive and distinctive. 3, 2. The countdown began, and Xingji was ready. He stretched out his hand and pressed it on the handle of the knife. A subtle high-frequency current sounded in the scabbard, and a light blue light glowed. 1. The moment the battle began, Xing Ke's long sword was unsheathed, and the electromagnetic ejection's extremely high speed of drawing the sword could be described as a flash of light. A blue electric arc suddenly appeared on Xing Ke's body. Chen Yi remained motionless and just shouted, "Prosperous wealth." Immediately, Wang Kai opened his mouth and flashed a cross of light, turning into a huge energy impact that instantly submerged half of the arena and evaporated everything. Boom. The deafening explosion resounded through the entire auditorium, and the few people who were waving flags and shouting stared, and were stunned on the spot. Dust falls to the ground. Half of the competitive area disappeared without a trace along with Xing Ke's figure. Soon, the competitive area returned to its original state, and Xing Ke reappeared in the audience. Wang Kai was listless and a little disappointed. Chen Yi took it out of the arena and said, "I don't know if there are any exotic animals. How about I buy some for you as snacks?" Woo! Wang Kai suddenly became energetic. In the audience, Xing Ke looked confused. What just happened? Basically, any living thing other than human beings can be called alien beasts. There are quite a lot of shops selling pets and summons in the space. The Diamond Legion operates a lot of businesses. After Chen Yikai finished shopping in the Diamond Mall, he entered a war pet store that was owned by the Diamond Legion. Abilities are generally more expensive than equipment and props, and the price of battle pets is higher than these three. After all, the explosion rate of battle pets is extremely low. The price of first-level equipment starts at 1,000, and the higher the quality, the higher the price. By analogy, the price of 6th-level equipment starts at 100 million. For example, Critical Breakthrough is worth 1 billion. Its ability itself is higher than the price of the equipment. Coupled with its strong ability, the price will naturally be unusually high. Due to the rare attributes of war pets, it is difficult for high-level war pets to appear on the market, and even if they are discovered, the returnees will use them to cultivate themselves. After all, this is an additional combat power that can greatly increase one's own survival rate. High-level battle pets generally only appear in auctions. Whenever they appear, the bidding will definitely overflow. Unless you are very lucky, it will be difficult to find high-level battle pets elsewhere. The owner of the battle pet shop took out a row of crystal balls. Each crystal ball contained a battle pet that had reached the 4th level of strength. The quality was very good. If you are willing to pay a high price and book in advance, those war pet shops should be able to get you 1 or 2 from within the Legion, but you have to be mentally prepared, the deposit and premium will be really high. Chen Yi understood. What is the general price of a 5th level war pet? If you're on the 5th level. The shop owner thought for a while and said, including the premium, 500 million is the starting price. The price may increase several times in the future. It depends on whether you can negotiate with people in the Legion. The price was really sky high. Chen Yi estimated that with all his wealth, he might not be able to afford a 5th level battle pet. In fact, it's normal. Level 5 means having galaxy-level combat power. It's normal for the price to be inflated. He doesn't have that much energy to focus on it, so he can only settle for a level 4 battle pet. There are 10 battle pets in total, just a fraction. The total price is just 200 million. Okay. Chen Yi happily took out his asset card and paid 200 million, then turned around and threw all the crystal balls containing 10 4th-level battle pets to Wang Kai. Wang Kai opened his mouth wide and swallowed it all. Woo. Right. After collecting the bill, the shopkeeper was about to remind him. When he saw this scene, the words in his throat stopped abruptly. These battle pets. What? The shopkeeper shook his head. Nothing. Grandma drops. Simply inhumane. At the same time, a force surged into Chen Yi's body. Strengthening success. Star Beast LV-16 up arrow. Star Spirit LV-16 up arrow. The level of the Protoss life form has increased, and Chen Yi's control range of star power has once again been greatly improved, expanding from the original radius of 1000 light-years to a radius of 5000 light-years. In addition, Chen Yi could only control star power before, but now he can convert the ubiquitous vacuum zero-point energy into star power. Just like the awakening of talent, at this level, Chen Yi naturally possesses such abilities, and there is no need to familiarize himself with practice anymore, because this is his instinct. The so-called zero-point energy of vacuum can be understood as the vacuum is not an absolute vacuum, and there is also a huge amount of energy invisible to the human eye hidden underneath. It is an endless sea of energy. With the ability to convert zero-point vacuum energy into star power, even if the star power in the starry sky is isolated and blocked, Chen Yi can still absorb the zero-point vacuum energy and convert it into star power for his own use. He can even transform star power into a universe without star power, and then use star power to create various celestial bodies including black holes. Yes. Now Chen Yi can create a black hole, but limited by the limit of the star power he controls, he cannot create a black hole with too much mass. Well. Wang Kai burped with satisfaction, his cheeks were flushed, and he even walked unsteadily as if he was drunk, bumping and bumping all the way. Passing by Xiaoguo Boutique again, there was still a circle of people making noisy noises around the door. Chen Yi followed him this time, curious as to what they were doing. Meet. Hit. Hit. Oh, what a pity. Chen Yi squeezed into the crowd and found a machine that was as tall as a person in front of him. The style was exactly the same as that of the enhanced cabin, very rough. Phew. A ball of steam spurted out, and the machine vibrated violently while running. Chen Yi could easily see the gears and transmission structure inside through the steampunk-style shell. Chen Yi asked others, "Brother, what kind of machine is this?" "This seems to be called a lottery ticket machine." The old man watched it happily and explained to Chen Yi enthusiastically, "Did you see the clock-like disc above? As long as you put money into the machine will randomly draw lottery tickets from level 1 to level 10. Chen Yi didn't understand. What are the prize tickets for? Hey. That's useful. Every 10 tickets of the same level can be exchanged for tickets of a higher level. The tickets you get can be directly used to upgrade equipment, props and pets. This is much better than the enhancement cabin. You say, is it useful? Hear the words. Chen Yi's eyes lit up, and then he looked at the sad and happy expression of the old man who was drawing the lottery in front of him, and understood. The chance of winning is not very good. The old man next to him nodded. If you draw a prize for 10,000 yuan, you will be guaranteed a first-level prize ticket. For 10,000 yuan, you may feel that you are losing money for a first-level prize ticket. After all, the first-level equipment only costs a few thousand, but if you can draw it for 10,000 yuan, second level, third level or even fourth level and fifth level lottery tickets will make a lot of money. To put it simply, it's just a matter of luck. Anyway, you will definitely lose blood in the end. Chen Yi thinks this thing is quite interesting, but he also understands that the person above will die. Broken machine. You cheated me out of my money. The old man in front of the lottery ticket machine was squeezed out of his last penny. He regretted that he smashed the lottery ticket machine with tears in his eyes. It can be said that he was extremely sad. Just when he was bored, Chen Yi looked at the few millions left in his card, and sat on the ticket machine with the mentality of passing the time. The old man next to me kindly advised, "Brother, it's not easy to have a little money, but don't get ahead of yourself. It was a fraction that couldn't be spent anyway, so Chenyi didn't take it seriously at all. As soon as the asset card was swiped on the lottery ticket machine, the lottery ticket machine immediately started buzzing like a tractor. Click click click. The pointer on the disc started to rotate, turning twice amidst the crisp mechanical sound, and finally stopped steadily at the number indicating the first level. Phew. A burst of steam spurted out, and a white first-level prize ticket came out of the ticket outlet, and the 10,000 yuan was just gone. Keep going, buddy. Yes, it's only once, maybe you'll win a big prize later. Those who joined in the fun at the back kept making noises, but few actually came up to fight with real swords and guns. Chenyi's heart was as calm as water, without any ripples. Continue. Anyway, it's just a fraction of the balance. The lottery ticket machine continued to vibrate, and without blinking an eye, Chenyi drew 10 times in a row and put in 100,000 yuan. White lottery ticket. White lottery ticket. White lottery ticket. I don't know if the chance of winning is really that low, or if Chenyi is unbelievably unlucky. All the tickets he drew for 10 consecutive times were first-level tickets. The old man next to him saw his eyes widened. Brother, you have something. Although the winning rate of high-end lottery tickets is not high, this is the first time he has seen all the winning tickets in 10 consecutive draws, and no one is so unlucky. Chenyi was unmoved and expressionlessly stuffed 10 white tickets into the voting slot. After exchanging them, the ticket outlet spit out a green second-level ticket. Not a big problem. Just pretend that this second-level prize ticket was drawn by him. Continue. It was another round of 10 consecutive draws, and this time the lottery ticket machine gave him some face. After 9 white tickets in a row, Chenyi spit out a green second-level lottery ticket as if it were a guarantee. It's hit, it's hit. The old man next to him was even more excited than Chenyi when he saw the green ticket. Chenyi didn't react at all, and he decisively drew 10 times in a row. Boom boom boom. The lottery ticket machine continued to roar. More than half an hour later, Chenyi had drawn 100 votes, and the green ticket output rate was basically stable at 1/20th. The most unlucky one was that 20 consecutive shots were all for nothing. Fortunately, a green double-shot cannon came next, which brought the green vote rate back up. The people who were joining in the fun next to him saw their brows twitching. This guy had a lot of money, but he also had really bad luck. The old man shook his head repeatedly. Chenyi exchanged all the white tickets for green tickets, and exchanged 10 second-level green tickets for 1 third-level ticket. It was not until the third-level ticket was spit out from the ticket outlet that Chenyi realized that the third-level ticket was blue. The result of the 1 million exchange was a third-level prize ticket, 4 second-level prize tickets, and 5 first-level prize tickets. The blood loss went to my grandma's house. Brother, are you still coming? Chenyi didn't say anything, put away the prize tickets, stood up and left. Prosperous wealth. Woo. Wangkai lay on the lottery ticket machine as a massage chair and fell asleep in a daze. When he woke up, he quickly followed Chenyi and whimpered twice. Chenyi said, "Today's condition is not very good. Let's fight another day." When he realized that his luck was really not good, Chenyi chose to stop. Although he still had more than 2 million in the card, he no longer planned to build it. Not interesting. Is the explosion rate so low? The old man is confused. He has been joining in the fun these days. He has never seen other people's high-level ticket explosion rate so low. Who would come to play if it is so low? Everyone is not a fool and likes to give money to others. Unbelieving, I sat on it and took a draw. However, what was unbelievable was that the old man was straight into his soul and spit out a blue ticket from the ticket outlet. Holy shit. The others perked up upon seeing this. Holy shit. After relaxing in space, Chenyi returned to the Blue Star world leisurely. With his return, time in the Blue Star world resumed its flow. After the second mission world, Chenyi's current strength has been greatly improved. Not to mention exploding stars, he can explode the entire solar system. The first thing he did after coming back was to take care of the cosmic people on Blue Star. Unlike the huge movement of telepathy, with the help of the ubiquitous star power, Chenyi quietly spied on the situation on the entire Blue Star. After a while, Chenyi understood. The total is 1,247. According to the evaluation of the energy intensity in the bodies of these cosmic people, the strongest ones are no different than the Black Dragon Girl, and do not even have an explosive star level of combat power. There is no need to worry about anything. With just one thought, the star power ocean on the blue star immediately rippled, turning into a surging force and crushing it. Bang! 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 All living entities from the universe exploded into blood mist in an instant. In the face of this unstoppable force, these cosmic beings died cleanly without even having time to react. It makes no difference whether he is a beacon holder or not, and this cleanup instantly allowed Chen Yi to gain a large number of beacon mall points. After returning to the Blue Star world, the beacon mall was finally able to open, and the points information was being refreshed like crazy. Points earned, 500. Points earned, 1300. Points earned, 2500. Points earned, 30,000. Points balance, 428000. More than 90% of these cosmic people are non-beacon holders. Although there are only 10% beacon holders, there are still more than 100 people. The main reason is that beacon holders can sense each other's position. As long as one appears, a bunch of beacon holders will basically be attracted to each other very quickly. In the process of cleaning up the Blue Star cosmonauts, Chen Yi found a fish that slipped through the net. He couldn't help but show surprise on his face, and seemed to be quite interested. Under some ruins, a little boy opened his clothes with a panic expression on his chest. Just now, the egg he picked up earlier hatched a red lizard-like creature, but it seemed to have the ability to predict danger, and he panicked with just one move. It plunged into the little boy's chest. That's why he was able to escape. What's going on? The little boy was so frightened that he clearly saw the lizard getting into his chest, but he didn't see any wounds at this moment. I won't die, right? Thinking this way, the little boy was extremely desperate. Dark Dragon. Chen Yi recognized the appearance of the thing, which was very similar to the racial characteristics of the Black Dragon Girl. Considering that this was an opportunity for the child, he didn't bother to care about it. He opened the beacon mall and browsed the products and prices on it. He had not noticed it before, but now Chen Yi discovered that the prices in the beacon mall were basically in perfect alignment with the prices in the space. The price of first-order goods fluctuates around 1,000, while the price of second-order goods fluctuates around 10,000. Chen Yikai has just spent a lot of money in the space, spending more than 1 billion, and is very concerned about the prices of these goods. Sensitive. Based on this, he has reason to believe that Beacon Mall must have some degree of connection with Guishu space, or it may be a superior subordinate relationship. Or it's a replica created by a certain being. Chen Yi suddenly had a guess. It can't be the masterpiece of those top legions in space, right? Chen Yijun feels that this possibility is very high. The return to ruined space anchors the Blue Star world, which means that there have been returners who have come here to complete the main mission. Only when the main mission is completely completed will the mission world be anchored by space, and people from the top legions will definitely have the opportunity to enter this world. And as long as the equipment, props and abilities are revealed, the space will never restrict the returners from bringing them into any mission world, or they may not need to be brought in at all. The top returners can build a beacon mall by themselves. This all makes perfect sense. Chen Yi estimated that his guess should be very close to the truth, but in the final analysis it was just a guess and there was no evidence to prove it. If this is the case, how difficult was the main mission of the group of returnees to create such a cosmic-level gadget? Besides, it is not completely ruled out that there are people who have fun. Maybe someone thinks that this will make the universe more interesting, so they create a bunch of beacons for the entire universe to fight. While his thoughts were active, Chen Yi sensed the situation within a radius of 5,000 light-years and searched for many extraterrestrial civilizations and planets with life. The nearest civilization is only 5.3 light-years away from Blue Star. Suddenly, a sense of crisis came over, and Chen Yi's expression suddenly condensed. Soon, he located the source of the sense of crisis, a low-level civilization 45 light-years away from Blue Star. That low-level civilization has never even entered the universe. It has just entered the stage of technological explosion and is in the beginning stage of the electrical age. Under the induction of star power, Chen Yi immediately understood all the information and easily found the source of the sense of crisis. He immediately flashed and teleported over with the help of star power. 45 light-years away, there is a civilization of blue-blooded people. There is no difference in appearance between the humans on this planet and the humans on the blue star. The only difference is that their blood is rich in copper, so it appears special blue. Therefore, he calls himself a blue-blooded person. Boom. 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 The so-called history of civilization is the history of war. This is an eternal theme that cannot be avoided by any civilization. Rows of artillery roar endlessly, spitting smoke, and shells fall like raindrops, bombarding an ancient ruins indiscriminately. The troops inside were beaten so hard that they dared not show their heads. Sir, the firepower is too strong, we can't withstand it anymore. You have to hold on even if you can't hold it back. In the ruins, the commander roared, our artillery support will be here soon. During the war, no army cared about the historical value of the ruins. Its only value was to provide even a little help for the victory of the war. Boom. A cannonball fell next to him, knocking down a wall. Chen Yi appeared here like a ghost, turning a blind eye to the rain-like bombardment. His eyes fell on the temple in the ruins. To be precise, it was a crystal embedded in the temple. The crystal was crystal clear, and it was clearly visible that a transparent energy was swirling in it. The only fly in the ointment was that a cannonball fell into the temple, and the splashed fragments created a crack in the crystal. The mere appearance of this crack gave Chen Yi a feeling of heart palpitations. Chen Yi didn't know what would happen if the crystal was really broken. Anyway, he wouldn't let this happen. The energy in the crystal was very important, and once it broke out, the consequences would be disastrous. So much so that Chen Yi could feel a sense of crisis even though he was 45 light-years away. With a thought, the crystal flew out of the groove of the temple and fell into Chen Yi's hand. The moment he took it, Chen Yi immediately felt the power of this energy. Amidst the roaring gunfire, Chen Yi listened to the sounds of the temple and the crystal. The surprise in his eyes became more and more intense, which was quite incredible. Boom. A cannonball fell next to him, and the officer was so dizzy that he looked back and saw Chen Yi standing carelessly in front of the temple, and he immediately cursed. Whose soldier are those? Buzz. Before he finished speaking, an invisible energy exploded with Chen Yi as the center. Time and space seemed to be completely frozen wherever it passed, and everything came to a complete standstill. Chen Yi used spiritual energy to release the energy in the crystal. As a result, the surrounding time and space was completely frozen. Through this crystal, Chen Yi could not only freeze time and space within a certain range, but also freely control the time flow rate of this space and time. This way, the energy in crystals speaks for itself. Space-time energy. Chen Yi thought, and the time around him suddenly began to pass at a high speed. The technology and era of the entire blue blood civilization were developing rapidly. The war in front of him ended in an instant. Chen Yi was independent outside this time and space. No one could see him, but he could witness all the development and changes. In the blink of an eye, the civilization of blue-blooded people has entered the information age. This energy of time and space is endless, and the range it can affect depends entirely on Chen Yi's control ability. According to his current strength, he can freeze or accelerate all time and space with a radius of 5,000 light-years. What a piece of shit luck. The development of blue blood civilization was fixed at this moment. Chen Yi was extremely surprised. He didn't expect that he could get such a big deal out of nowhere. This thing is undoubtedly an artifact. It is the ability to control time and space. No matter how strong you are, as long as you can't transcend the level of time and space, you can basically finish fighting Chen Yi within a radius of 5,000 light-years. The space-time crystal did not come from space, let alone exploded equipment. Naturally, it cannot be brought into space and the mission world. But as long as you have this thing, at least you don't have to worry too much about your life in the Blue Star world. In the frozen time and space, Wang Kai walked around, jumped up to the ruins and faced the sun, imitating the crow of a rooster. Ooh! The sound stopped suddenly. The bodies of Wang Kai and Chen Yi disappeared, and the frozen time and space returned to normal. From the beginning to the end, the Blue Blood civilization did not realize that its civilization had been controlled and observed by others. Back to Blue Star. Wang Kai shook his head and a few feathers appeared behind him. They really looked like a big rooster. Chen Yi didn't pay much attention to them. He didn't know what this little thing had eaten. Chen Yi put the space-time crystal into his portable space, and then used his spiritual energy to release the energy in the space-time crystal. Looking down at the ruins of Blue Star, the space-time energy then swept away. Buzz. Not only the Blue Star, but the entire solar system was enveloped by Chen Yi's space-time energy, and then, the time of the entire solar system began to accelerate. As if playing a strategic development game, the planet is rotating rapidly, and the environment on the Blue Star changes every second. The humans on the ruins move around like ants and begin to rebuild their homes. Chen Yi smiled. He still likes the lively Blue Star. Thanks for watching.